The morning show starts right now with a breaking news alert.
That breaking news alert at 9 is at the Gateway Mall this morning, where they are suspending giving out the Johnson & Johnson vaccine.
The reason, about 90 minutes ago, the CDC and FDA called for an immediate pause on giving out those shots after 6 people developed a rare disorder involving blood clots. Now, all 6 were women between the ages of 18 and 48. One did die. A second in Nebraska is in critical condition. To date, though, nearly 7 million people in the U.S. have received the Johnson & Johnson vaccine so far. Another 1 million doses are in states right now.
Good morning to you. Thank you for watching. We've got a lot to talk about. It is a story we first broke on News4Jax earlier this morning. Johnson & Johnson is the only vaccine right now offered at Florida's federal vaccination sites.
News4Jax reporter Ashley Harding has been live at the Gateway Mall this morning. Ashley, you talked to people in line this morning, and that facility, obviously a Johnson & Johnson vaccine site. What are they saying?
Hey, Lauren and Vic, good morning to you both. Yes, a lot of concern from people coming here to the Gateway mass vaccination site. Now, many of them are coming here for the second dose of their Pfizer vaccine, and they are making their way in. One man, however, who is not going in these doors right here is a man just in the last 15 minutes. He told me he was coming here to get the Johnson & Johnson vaccine. He had not heard the news. Unfortunately, I broke the bad news to him. This was his surprise when I talked to him.
Oh, now I'm a little confused there. Wow, I thought they had got all of that out the way as far as the testing and everything. This is a surprise.
Are you worried now?
Oh, I'm real worried. I don't know, I might pass this one up.
So they put a stop to doing it here because of this.
Oh, well, that's not good then.
Are you thinking now you might want to try one of the other two?
I guess I have to try the other two. I got to get the shot to protect myself and to protect my family.
And we have spoken on and off camera to a few other people. Those people we talked to were coming here to get the second dose of the Pfizer vaccine. You know, they said that they had heard the news this morning as well before they were leaving to come here. They told us, you know, they thought about waiting to get the Johnson & Johnson, but they said they were tired of waiting. And frankly, they say they are now grateful that they are able to come here and get their second dose of the Pfizer vaccine. But we are expecting some more information. And of course, we are standing by for that. Any new information that does come out of the Gateway vaccination site along with this breaking news, of course, we'll bring that to you. I'll send it right back to you all.
All right, Ashley, thank you. We know you're going to continue to monitor that situation as it develops. And we also know that a lot of you at home have concerns and questions about the Johnson & Johnson vaccine and whether it is safe for you and your family.
So joining us live this morning by phone to answer some of your questions, allergist and immunologist, Dr. Sunil Joshi. Good morning. Thank you so much for joining us.
Doc, you there?
Yeah, can you hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you. So, Dr. Joshi, there's about 7 million people who've already been vaccinated with the J&J vaccine. What are you saying to those people right now? I'm sure you have a lot of patients who are calling you up this morning.
Yeah, so obviously this is definitely concerning for all of us. And so I think it's important to put it in perspective. There's been almost 7 million doses of the vaccine given. 6 cases have been reported of these blood clots. And so that makes it exceedingly rare, okay, in terms of the total number of people or the percentage of the population who've been vaccinated who've had these blood clots. And just to also put it in perspective, about 3 in the general population, there's about 3 blood clots in every 1 million people in this country, just in general. So you know what the CDC and the FDA now need to do is look into whether or not these cases were truly related to the vaccine, or were they in people who may have been at high risk of having blood clots anyway for other reasons. And so I think that's very, very important to keep in perspective, though I completely agree with them halting the use of the vaccine until they can get more information.
Dr. Joshi, is it possible that the vaccine is not the cause of these blood clots, and it's just like you said, it is a very common disorder that happens throughout people, and it's just something that has popped up?
Yeah, so that's the important thing, is to understand, is this a causal relationship, or was this something that these women were unfortunately going to be at risk for having anyway. I think the reason that there is a little bit more of a concern is it seemed like each of these cases occurred within a week, 1 to 2 weeks of receiving the vaccine. It's not like these cases occurred 3 or 4 months later, so there's that group that's in that time period there that makes it worth investigating. But yes, that's a great point that these women may indeed have been at risk of having these blood clots regardless of whether they received the vaccine or not.
And Doc, let's face it, a lot of people right now don't trust vaccines, period, whether it's Johnson & Johnson, Pfizer, or Moderna. How is this going to affect the nation's confidence in the vaccines? And this is something that, leaders are pushing. They want people to get vaccinated, and now you have this giant hurdle.
Well, and again, vaccine hesitancy has been a real issue here in the United States, no doubt about it, and this doesn't help those efforts, that's for sure. But I think the positive part of this whole thing is that the CDC and the FDA decided, once they realized that this was worth investigating, to go ahead and stop providing this vaccine until they could learn more information. So, ultimately what this is showing is that safety remains the top priority. Once they've realized that there was a blip here that they weren't seeing necessarily in the studies, they've backed off and they're now studying it in more detail. So I think we should look at it as the CDC and the FDA looking out for the general population and making sure that the vaccine is safe as we move forward. And if and when they get through this investigation, if they feel that it's safe, we should feel more comfortable getting the vaccine.
And I want to ask about supply, because I feel like we finally had the ball rolling where there was a lot of access to all 3 of the vaccines here in Northeast Florida and Southeast Georgia. Now, one of the major players, a third of that, is gone. What does that mean for people that still want to get their vaccinations?
Yeah, and it does definitely hurt. As you said, the ball was rolling just a couple of days ago. We had 4.5 million people vaccinated in one day in this country. And even here in Jacksonville, at the end of last week, we had one day where we reached almost 9,000 people that received a vaccine, and a lot of that was due to the Johnson & Johnson one-and-done vaccine. And so by halting its use, that definitely will slow down vaccine administration for sure, over the next few weeks or so. And so that may prolong this whole process as we try to get to the end of the pandemic. But I think it's important for people to realize that over 100 million people have been vaccinated and have been receiving Moderna and the Pfizer vaccine with minimal significant side effects, and those vaccines have been shown to be safe.
Dr. Doshi, last question, real quick. What are you saying to your patients this morning that call in, and what are medical experts around the country saying to those 7 million people already vaccinated?
So, obviously for those who have received the Johnson & Johnson vaccine, if they're doing well and they didn't have any of the significant side effects of concern, which would include severe headaches, abdominal pain, leg pain within 2 weeks of receiving the vaccine, then I feel very comfortable that they're fine going forward. If it's been within the 2-week period of receiving the Johnson & Johnson vaccine, those are the symptoms that should make them alert their healthcare provider for further investigation. For the folks that are concerned about getting vaccines going forward, we are telling them that the Moderna and Pfizer vaccine have been shown to be very, very safe. There certainly is that side effect profile that we've all talked about, but we feel very comfortable with them receiving either of those vaccines at this point.
Dr. Sunil Joshi, thank you so much for all this information. I know we're going to be reaching back out to you. And something else that he pointed out to mention is that Pfizer and Moderna, they're still being offered, and they use a different technology, that mRNA technology, in their vaccines, while Johnson & Johnson uses a different dead virus. So that is why you can't really even put those 2 vaccines in the same category. So if you are thinking about getting a vaccine moving forward, these are very different vaccines. So again, we're not sure if these cases are linked to the vaccine. It's just saying right now that the FDA and CDC want to do a little more research, and they're doing their due diligence to make sure that it is safe to offer to the public. So a lot coming out of here, a lot of information. We're, of course, going to be following this story all day long. And, of course, you can get up-to-date information on news4jax.com.
Certainly something we're going to be talking about for the coming days and probably weeks.
Yeah.
Okay, meanwhile, Publix typically offers appointments for the Johnson & Johnson vaccine on Wednesdays. Right now, the website shows bookings are still being scheduled to open tomorrow morning at 7. We're working to find out if that will change based on this new announcement this morning. Publix currently offers Johnson & Johnson vaccines in 7 states, including here in Florida and Georgia. 2 satellite vaccination sites in Jacksonville will close their doors later this afternoon. The Carver Recreational Center in Jacksonville Beach and the Ocean Way Community Center on the north side opened up at the top of the hour, but they're going to close tonight at 5 permanently. Both sites were scheduled to operate for 10 days to provide second doses of the Pfizer vaccine to those who received their first doses at those same locations. If you cannot get a second dose there, go to the federally supported site at the Gateway Mall. But again, you cannot get the Johnson & Johnson shot right now.
We know this information is changing constantly, and there's a lot of it, so we put it all in one place. You can get the latest COVID news sent straight to your inbox by signing up for the free coronavirus newsletter. If you'd like to be added to our mailing list, just head on over to news4jax.com and click on the newsletters tab.
Now we want to get you caught up on your forecast because we need a reason to smile. So take a look outside, look at the beach, picture perfect out there. Meteorologist Mark Collins, I'd call it a 10. I mean, not too hot, it's sunny.
Yep.
Look how gorgeous that sun is on that water right there.
And this is the pattern we've been in, right? Just really lovely weather, sunny, dry conditions. Humidity's been kind of held in check, but gradually we're going to have to start changing that outlook here and start talking about some rain. So that's going to be coming into our forecast here. Not today, still have another dry day, even somewhat dry for tomorrow. But then as we head into Thursday and for the upcoming weekend, rain will definitely be back in play for us. Here we are at 67 with a breeze out of the north and northwest. Feeling pretty good out there. Cloud-free skies once more here, and tomorrow's going to be much more cloudier because we'll see some weather coming in from the west. For now, it's that frontal system which will stay away from us, but gradually as it gets closer, our rain chances will increase. At the earliest, we could see some rain tomorrow evening, but today mostly sunny, warming up. Temperatures topping out in the mid-80s here this afternoon. Your hour-by-hour forecast will finally get to about that 80-degree mark here at lunchtime, and then we'll see that slow and steady rise up to around 85 here today, and then tonight easing back into the 70s. Coming up, we're going to take you further into the newscast after this break, but I'll see you at 9:30 with more on that upcoming rain in the forecast.
With protesters for a second night in the Minneapolis suburb where a police officer shot and killed a black man during a traffic stop over the weekend.
This video shows large crowds defying that curfew in the city of the Brooklyn Center. In it, you can see some people throwing objects at police on others parked on the side of the fence. Demonstrations like this spreading across the country, though, following the death of Daunte Wright. Now, this is video from Portland, Oregon. Protesters broke windows, lit a dumpster fire. At least 40 people were arrested overnight in the Brooklyn Center.
Tensions flared back up when the city's police chief revealed that the officer who shot and killed Wright thought she was using her taser. This was all caught on her body camera.
This video is graphic, so we are going to freeze the video before the officer pulls the trigger, but you can see the moments before.
Don't do this stuff, bro. Don't do it. Don't do it. Stand right there.
So I want to go a little further. She says, taser, 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 I'll tase you. You hear a shot, and then she says, expletive, I just shot him. And that's what everybody is talking about right now. I've watched the whole video. I watched it again and again just to be able to know how to report on it and to talk on it. And a lot of people are disagreeing about what exactly happened here and if she just messed up and pulled the wrong thing or if it was something more sinister. An attorney for the family of Wright says the use of lethal force in this case was preventable and it was inhumane. Investigators say officers stopped Wright for an expired tag, then discovered he had a warrant out for his arrest. That officer is on leave, which is standard following shootings.
So police are calling this a, quote, tragic mistake and are promising to overhaul the department. So what we know right now, Brooklyn Center has already fired its city manager and is giving its mayor control over the police department. President Biden is calling for peace and calm. This is a story that is, of course, developing as these new images and videos come out. You can always check back at news4jax.com, but we'll update you, of course, when we learn more for the news at noon.
A spring safety alert as child drowning deaths are spiking already this year.
Up next, the steps parents need to take to keep a fatal accident from happening.
Now, I want to give you a live look again at the Gateway Mall on Jacksonville's north side. This is where health officials have put a pause on administering the J&J vaccine. Nationwide, the CDC and FDA have suspended the vaccine after 6 women developed a rare disorder involving blood clots. They tell us one passed away. They're looking to find more details. We'll be right back.
So proud of himself.
I was like, is that intentional?
Okay. 3, 2. Blue skies across the area here on this Tuesday morning where we're still looking at temperatures in the 60s. Not for long, it'll be another warm day, but we'll keep those skies sunny. Three, 2. We're looking at another calm day on the Atlantic Ocean and lots of sunshine to invite you to the shoreline. We're looking at some low 70s there, and we'll have pretty calm conditions through the afternoon. Okay. Three, 2. Three, 2. It's a beautiful day out there. We're seeing plenty of sunshine with mostly sunny conditions and temperatures reaching the mid-80s. Today is going to be much different from tomorrow. We're actually going to see a bit more cloud cover moving in. I'm meteorologist Mark Collins. Coming up on the noon show, I'll tell you about the increase in clouds and if any rain will follow.
Awesome. Hey, Freddie, real quick, can you move this TV closer to the prompter so I can see it? Thank you. Like that? Good. Pool and spa drownings involving children are on the rise nationwide. Now, that's according to the U.S. Consumer Product Safety Commission's pool safety campaign. So 21 deaths have been reported just this year alone. At least 90% of those drownings took place at a home pool. And the number of reported drownings is nearly 40% higher than the number reported this same time last year. Now, the Sunshine State leads the nation as the state with the highest number of fatal drownings this year, with 6 reported deaths during the first quarter. And Response Pool Safety has issued a spring safety alert that urges families to practice vigilance and follow some simple steps. So joining us to talk about this morning about these fatal accidents and how you avoid them, Nikki Fleming, CPSC Pool Safety Campaign Leader. Good morning. Thank you so much for joining us.
Good morning. Thanks for having me.
You know, in a way, do you think that COVID has kind of, your back of your brain is not necessarily thinking about the other precautions we should be taking right now because we're so focused on the pandemic?
Yes, COVID has definitely changed the behaviors of families and disrupted basically our family life. Uh, with many of us at home, perhaps we're juggling multiple items at home, and this can cause for kids to be gain access to water, and maybe parents are distracted. So it's so important to exercise vigilance and again follow simple safety steps that can save lives.
Let's talk about some of those steps.
Yes, it's so important. Supervision is critical. It's key. You want to start with always watching your child in and around water. And that also means designating a water watcher. And this person should not be distracted. They should not be using their cell phone. They should not be reading a book. Their number one job is to keep an eye on the kids in the water at all times. So you want to designate a water watcher. Also, implementing and installing multiple layers of protection. There is not just one safety tip. It's multiple layers of protection can actually save a life. So that includes a 4-foot fence, 4-sided, that has a self-closing and self-latching gate, door alarms, pool alarms. Again, multiple layers of protection so you can know if your child is gaining access to the backyard. We know that 90% of these drownings are happening in residential pools with this latest data from USA Swimming Foundation.
Yeah, even with the pandemic, swimming lessons are still very much a thing and they're still being offered. Talk to me about the importance of them and kind of where you tell people to start.
Yes, it's important to start early and introduce children to the water with an adult, of course, and also talk to your pediatrician about when's the best time to start swim lessons. But it's a critical part, again, of that extra layer of protection, making sure that you as a parent also know how to swim, as well as the kids are introduced to lessons early that can also form a protection for them. Also, learning CPR in case an emergency does happen. And you want to learn how to do CPR for both children and adults. Many communities offer online CPR training classes, so that's a good tip for parents as well.
Oh, yeah, and there's a lot of free resources to do that. And tell me, why do we believe that these drownings are on the rise this year?
Again, parents may be distracted. We're juggling multiple responsibilities at home. And again, this can allow for curious kids. We know they're attracted to water to gain access to water. So implementing those multiple layers can be that critical step that actually saves your child's life. So you want to do that today. We know we're coming up on early drowning numbers already. And in warm weather states like Florida, especially, where there's many people have access to pools and have swimming pools in their backyards, you want to make sure those multiple layers of protection are already installed now to prevent any drownings from occurring. We know that the largest numbers usually happen between May and August, with June and July being the highest drowning numbers. But to see those numbers today from USA Swimming Foundation about the early first quarter of 2021, now is the time.
Yeah, I mean, you look at the weather in Florida, it is the most perfect day to get out in the pool, so completely understandable. Nikki Fleming with the CPSC, thank you so much for joining us.
Thanks for having me.
We'll be right back.
You're watching Channel 4, the local station. Live with Vic Micolucci, Lauren Verno, the Weather Authority forecast with Mark Collins. Traffic and breaking news with Sky 4. The morning show continues.
9:30 and developing right now. U.S. health officials have put a pause on Johnson & Johnson's single-dose vaccine over blood clots.
So it comes as health officials nationwide put an immediate pause earlier this morning after 6 people developed a rare disorder involving those blood clots. Now, you were looking live at the Gateway Mall where officials there have paused administering the vaccine. They are only giving out those second doses of Pfizer, but they have paused giving out any Johnson & Johnson.
All right, let's get you some more details. All 6 cases involved women between the ages of 18 and 48. The government says 1 died. A second in Nebraska is in critical condition right now. Nearly 7 million people throughout the U.S. have already received the J&J shots. Another 9 million doses have shipped out to states. Earlier today, Johnson & Johnson released a statement in response to the clotting issues. It reads in part, "We are aware that thromboembolic events through these type of thrombocytopenias can be reported with COVID-19 vaccines. At present, no clear causal relationship has been established between these rare events and the Janssen COVID-19 vaccine.
So the Janssen vaccine is the Johnson & Johnson vaccine. That's just the name of the company. So earlier on the morning show, we did speak with Dr. Jonathan Cantor, an epidemiologist with the Penn Center for Epidemiology. He says this is very much a wait-and-see situation.
The key message, I think, to viewers is that we need to just hold off in terms of our judgment right now. We don't need to decide, hey, this is dangerous, we never want to get this vaccine. We just need to wait and see, was this really something of concern? Or was this simply, the result of the fact that we are looking very, very closely for problems? And that's what these meetings are designed to do.
Cantor went on to say the problem is you have to look at the safety of the vaccine versus the safety of getting COVID. And right now they're saying it outweighs the benefits of the vaccine outweighs getting COVID-19 right now. And they're figuring out, the CDC actually has a meeting at 10 o'clock to announce this and kind of go further into it. Right now, those blood clot issues, they are not directly tied to the vaccine. That is something that they are looking at right now, whether it is a coincidence or not. So this is not a be scared or panic moment. This is something of a wait and see. And if you are one of the 7 million people who already received a vaccine, doctors say if you are feeling fine right now, there is nothing you need to be worried about at this moment. Again, 10 o'clock, the CDC will be holding their update on the Johnson & Johnson announcement. We will be streaming that live on news4jax.com.
All right, in other news, in about 30 minutes, for the first time, jurors are expected to hear from witnesses testifying for the defense in the murder trial of former Minneapolis Police Department officer Derek Chauvin. You're looking live in Minneapolis this morning as the Hennepin County District Court judge wrapped up yesterday. He told jurors, quote, "We're getting close to the end of the trial." He said he expects the defense to finish its evidence by the end of the week, with closing arguments expected next Monday. So far, there have been 38 witnesses called to the stand, all by the prosecution.
We will continue streaming today's trial on news4jax.com. It is expected to continue at 10 a.m. this morning, so just about 30 minutes from now.
The Weather Authority. Pinpoint precision with ExactTrack 4D. Dissecting storms, exposing dangerous conditions miles above the surface.
Deep breaths, everyone. Mark. We need to just collectively relax today. We've got a lot of serious stories to talk about, a lot of debate going on. But one thing we're not debating, that weather. It is so nice.
Oh, my goodness. It is chef's kiss.
Right. Yep. So good news is that we've got good weather now, and hopefully this will kind of make up for some deteriorating conditions that we'll be seeing, which could last into the weekend. But it's not all bad news. We've got sunshine now. We'll have some light, drier weather on Friday, but rain looks promising on Thursday and for the upcoming weekend. All right, so looking ahead here, we've got sunshine across all areas from out in Union County to Columbia County, even in Flagler County, looking pretty good there. So temperatures are comfortable, mainly in the mid to upper 60s to around 70 degrees from the west side here. So that's nice as well. Looking at what to expect here over the next couple of days, well, that's where we'll see some transitions. Today, it's just sunny, warm, dry weather here. Tomorrow is still going to be dry, but you'll notice more cloud cover around on Wednesday. And then as we head into tomorrow evening, we might even be able to sneak in some showers. I'll tell you where here in just a bit. But Thursday is the day where we'll start to see increasing rain showers as a cold front approaches us. So looking at over the next 3 days, today we're looking at this northwesterly flow with very dry conditions here and temperatures mainly in the mid 80s here. Beachside spots, well, we'll see that late day sea breeze develop, holding down the temperatures into the 70s. Tomorrow, the clouds will be moving in, and by the evening time, we might see some showers develop around you in Lake City, Gainesville, possibly into Waycross, and it's going to be more towards that evening hour with the showers. Then as we head into Thursday, here comes the front. We'll see an area low pressure move along it. So this is the swath of rain covering southern Georgia, North Florida. And because of the rain, notice how high temperatures ease back into the 70s. So we'll see a break in the heat, and that will carry us through the next couple of days. We'll take a pause from those 80-degree readings that we've seen here lately. Looking at the amounts of rain on Thursday, not a great deal of heavy rainfall anticipated. Mostly that will be over the Panhandle and through Louisiana. But that's not all, because as we head into Friday, we'll see a little bit of a pause in the rain. But here on Saturday and Sunday, with the frontal boundary kind of draped over us. That's why we'll see additional rounds of rain. Hard to nail down the timing, but it looks like probably 3/4 of an inch or an inch of rain over the upcoming weekend. And notice here the temperature slide. So today and tomorrow, looking at those temps in the 80s here, and then they start to pull back into the 70s. And notice how the rain chances pick up for Saturday and Sunday. So right now, maybe not a total washout, but it does look like there'll be unsettled weather here to take us through the upcoming weekend. And Saturday especially, the temperatures held down into the lower to mid 70s, so it might feel a little coolish out there, especially if we have some damp conditions. So to plan your day today, it looks great to be outdoors. Temperatures will get a little warm through the afternoon. We'll have winds out of the northwest switching to that onshore sea breeze in the afternoon. Otherwise, mostly sunny conditions, fairly low humidity. Tomorrow, the clouds will increase, and then on Thursday, we'll see the rain come back into the outlook. So Thursday, not all day rains, but we will see with the front showers building into the area, and then some drier air settles into the area here on Friday. And then as we head into the upcoming weekend, we'll see that front that comes through Thursday kind of backpedal at us here for your weekend. And with it in the vicinity, that's why it looks unsettled here even as we head into Monday. But at least those temperatures ease back a little bit. You can always download the News4JAX weather app. On it, it has storm pins where you can upload your photos to us. And also you can check out the daily forecast right there on your phone. Also, you can hear us on the beat, 93.3 FM here in northern Florida and southern Georgia. All right, we've got much more news coming up. Stay with us because we'll be right back here after this break.
Longtime New England Patriots wide receiver and former Super Bowl MVP Julian Edelman is walking away from the game.
Yeah, big news there. He announced his retirement after the franchise ended his contract on Monday over a failed physical.
Now, I've always said I'm going to go until the wheels come off. And they finally have fallen off. Due to an injury last year, I'll be making my official announcement of my retirement from football.
He is a good player. He said it was a hard decision, but the right decision for him and his family. Edelman played all 11 seasons of his career in New England and helped the team win 3 Super Bowl championships.
You could hear it in his voice how sad he is. Oh, good for him, though, being with his family. Green Bay Packers quarterback Aaron Rodgers, he could become the next face of Jeopardy.
Yeah, a lot of people talking about that one. The show's executive producer is raving about the QB's recent stint behind the podium, saying he thinks Rodgers' second career could be better than his first. Rodgers has not shied away from his eagerness to be the show's permanent host. He said he has a deep affection for the show and would take the job in a heartbeat.
How cool is that? The Atlanta Braves first baseman Freddie Freeman is rewarding a young Philadelphia Phillies fan for giving a home run ball away to a Braves fan.
So Freeman hit that ball right to the young Phillies fan, Joshua Scott. This was Friday night when the Atlanta Braves were playing on their home field at Truist Park. But young Scott did the unexpected, and he gave the ball away to a fan who was wearing a Freeman jersey. A generous exchange, well, it went viral. During Sunday's game, the Braves organization had a surprise planned to reward Scott for his selfless gesture from the game on Friday. He and his dad, James, got to go down the side of the field to meet Freeman. The baseball player presented Joshua with an autographed baseball by both Freddie and Bryce Harper, who is a famous Phillies player, since Joshua is, after all, a Phillies fan. Cool.
Does your heart just feel happy right now? Because mine does.
That. I love seeing that. And he got rewarded. He didn't ask to be rewarded.
Yes.
That's the best part.
That's what we need. Just do good things and be kind. Don't expect anything in return. We love these stories. We're such saps for this. We really are.
That's cool. Best of both worlds. And look, now he's probably a Braves fan, too.
I mean,
Phillies and Braves fan together.
Are you allowed to?
Yeah. I think okay. I think it's okay. Until they play each other again. Then you gotta make that decision. Okay, in the wake of rapper DMX's death, the family is putting out a potential warning.
Up next, what the family says fans of the rapper need to be on high alert for. That's next.
News4JAX, covering the big local stories from your neighborhood.
The surviving family of late rapper DMX is warning fans not to fall victim to scammers who are apparently trying to profit off the musician's death.
His family issued a statement yesterday after rumors started circulating online that someone purchased the masters to his music. It says, in part, no one has bought Earl's masters, and we are not selling any merch or raising money for Earl's funeral. If anyone is requesting money for his funeral, please be aware this person is a scammer. Now, according to his lawyer, DMX had a heart attack earlier this month. His death was announced last Friday, and I cannot emphasize this enough. Scammers will try to profit off of someone's loss and at the worst of times in someone's life, so do not fall for it. Thankfully, the family caught it and is sending out that warning.
Yeah, they're being proactive about it. Actor Will Smith and director Antoine Fuqua will find a new place to film their new movie, Emancipation.
So the duo pulled production out of Georgia over the state's new election law. In a joint statement, they said, "We cannot in good conscience promote economic support to a government that enacts regressive voting laws." The new Georgia voting laws are reminiscent of voting impediments that were passed at the end of the Reconstruction.
The law amps up requirements for absentee voting and limits drop boxes. The movie is the largest and most high-profile production to leave the state since that law passed. It was set to start shooting in June. Princes Harry and William are paying tribute to Prince Philip ahead of his funeral this weekend.
In separate statements yesterday, the two remembered his hard work, character, and sense of humor. Now both praised Philip's lifetime of service to the United Kingdom and to his wife, Queen Elizabeth. William said his grandfather would want the royal family to get on with the job. Harry remembered him as my grandpa, master of the barbecue, legend of banter, and cheeky right till the end. Philip died Friday, just months shy of his 100th birthday. His funeral is scheduled for Saturday. In more entertainment news this morning, Shazam is getting a new villain, and Janet Jackson auctions off some of her most iconic memorabilia.
Here's Rick Damigella with your Hollywood Minute.
His name is Captain Sparklefingers.
No, it's not. That's not my name.
Shazam faces off against one of Charlie's angels. Lucy Liu has been cast in Shazam! Fury of the Gods as the villainous Calypso, who is the daughter of a Greek god. She joins Helen Mirren and returning titular star Zachary Levi in the upcoming sequel, which is scheduled to open in June 2023. Janet Jackson fans can now bring the Rhythm Nation home. The legendary singer is auctioning off over 1,000 personal items, including a wedding dress and outfits she wore in the Scream music video alongside her brother Michael. The event will take place beginning May 14th, and part of the proceeds will go towards a global child advocacy charity.
You got to get in the van if you want to make it in this business.
Talk about an all-star lineup. Dave Grohl has assembled a slew of his famous friends to take part in his new documentary, What Drives Us. This is your first look at the flick, which will feature appearances by fellow rock stars like Ringo Starr, Steven Tyler, The Edge, and Slash. Fans can rock out when the doc is released on April 30th. In Hollywood, I'm Rick Damigella.
Local elections in April generally attract few voters, but a small southwest Missouri town hit a new low this week when not one of its 70 residents cast a ballot.
So the county clerk said his office checked several times to confirm that no votes were cast in an election to decide if it should annex itself into the fire protection district. City officials say voters have to travel 7 miles to vote, and there apparently was little publicity and not many reminders about the election. A resident in the city of La Russell said he didn't see any flyers about the election. After consulting with the fire district's board and attorneys, city officials say La Russell will continue to have fire protection until the issue can be back on the ballot in a future election.
Well,
small town.
70 people.
Small town.
It would not take a lot to get majority there.
No, it wouldn't. That's a very half glass full statement right there.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, there you go, Vic.
Well, better luck next
morning.
time. No water fund to celebrate Thailand's New Year's festival.
As COVID-19 cases rise, the government has banned water splashing during the 3-day celebration that began today. But authorities are allowing religious activities and some mild watering within safety measures to take place. What is mild watering
Mild
compared
water.
to splashing?
You know, they used to have a really big water gun fight up in Tybee Island outside of Savannah, and I used to have a lot of fun with my friends in high school up there. I was talking to the mayor a week and a half ago or so. They didn't do that either.
It's so easy to social distance with a water gun.
Yeah. Well, you know.
Easy peasy.
I think it's that they don't want crowds to gather.
I understand. Just social distance with the water gun. All right, you have a chance to win a local vacation. Get this, for free. Through News4JAX Insider, you can enter for a chance to win the ultimate foodie getaway. The price is a 3-day, 2-night stay for 2 in St. Augustine, plus 2 tickets to the St. Augustine Food and Wine Festival. It does run from May 6th through the 9th, but you must be an insider to qualify, and you have to be 21 years old or older to enter, because you know that wine festival. The contest runs from now through April 25th, and then a winner will be drawn. To learn more, log into your insider account and look for this contest in your profile page.
That's a sweet deal.
It is.
Nothing to whine about there.
Oh man, here we go.
Geez, got to take our picture when we're there.
Then we're not getting the tickets. Someone else win. So this is a look at what we have streaming today on News4JAX.com. A very busy day. Coming up at 10, fallen Capitol Police Officer William Billy Evans, who was killed as a result of an attack on the Capitol, will lie in honor in the Capitol Rotunda. That ceremony begins at 10 a.m.
We will also live stream the continuing murder trial of Derek Chauvin. That will begin at 10 o'clock. And the CDC is expected to hold a briefing to discuss the pause on Johnson & Johnson vaccines that have caused blood clots in 6 women nationwide. Not necessarily caused them, but that has been linked here preliminarily. So we're going to learn more in that briefing live on air and online at News4JAX.com.
Have a great day. We'll see you back here in about 3 minutes with that update.
See why every day more people are choosing News4JAX, Northeast Florida and South Georgia's #1 source for local news.